Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? This your boy Sam's. This my man's I Am Legend. We are here, that comic show, the podcast. We here, we talking about what if. What if? This is down to what was it, episode 7 this week. We got about 4 more episodes, I think, or 5 more episodes.
Nah, that's too much. I think 2 more.
2 more?
I thought it was only 9. Actually, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I think it's 12, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna double check real quick, but I believe
it's 12
episodes.
Then. Yeah, 4 more.
Yeah, we got a few more. We gotta get to. Listen, it's heating up.
I thought it was winding down. Tell you the truth.
Oh,
I thought we was getting into the everything is about to come together type of situation.
I think that's where we are right now. So it looks like that. Yeah, we got about 12 episodes coming up. We got 12 episodes coming up. It's like I said, it's getting heated. It's getting real heated. So heated that 2 of the main people that we wanted to come on here tonight to kind of hash out some of the back and forth is not here. So that's just how the cookie crumbles, I believe.
Yeah, we definitely got to hear their perspectives on things. So there's that. I think at the complete opposite of spectrums, as one person. I don't even know if Rob really loved the episode, but he liked it more than Trav did. Trav looked like he just hated the episode altogether. So it
seemed like that was the case. It seemed like the both of them didn't like it. But listen, they're not here. We here. Yeah. So episode 7, party Thor partying up. So what I thought about that episode, this episode of What If, it didn't move the needle for me one way or another. I don't think it really told a different side to Thor, because I felt like this is the Thor that we would have gotten in Thor 1 if none of the stuff with Loki happened. I feel as though that he was arrogant, he was self-absorbed, and that's just who he is. That's who he was, and that's what we saw. So I really didn't see a difference.
So to you, it didn't really change the character of Thor, of him not having any older sister or even younger brother with Loki.
Because the thing is that this story stayed in the realm of Thor 1, the first Thor. It is not showing me Thor of Endgame, where he had years of growth and he's been through all these different experiences, lost his moms, lost his dad, lost Loki twice, lost his eye. All these different things he lost made him the character that we saw in Endgame. But that's not the Thor we're talking about. We're talking about the Thor that we met in Thor 1, which was an arrogant brat as to why he was sent on Earth. He was taken away from Mjolnir, and he had to learn a lesson of humility and humble himself, so that way he'll be able to be a better king in the future. And that's the Thor that we're dealing with in this episode. But tell me what you thought of it.
All right, so one, I enjoyed the episode. It's not one of my favorites, but I was kind of expecting it, especially from the opening scene. Like, okay, this is just gonna be straight comedy. And what if, and going through universes, I kind of was getting the sense like we're gonna get something that's so left field. You're gonna like, okay, because like even with like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you had like a talking pig. So I'm thinking like maybe you're gonna see something strange like that. Not that too strange, but I'm glad we got to see just like a whole Looney Tunes episode, pretty much. Yeah, but like what you were saying is like Thor didn't change much. I think it added more questions that the episode didn't show for us, because with Thor 1, it was like he was no longer worthy for holding the hammer. With this one, it seems like he was worthy. I'm not even too sure if that was the same spell on that hammer. You know what I mean? Like Odin put a spell on the hammer for only him to pick it up. It looked like it was, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. If you remember from Thor, the stuff with the frost giants, all that happened before Odin went to sleep. So Odin was able to take put the enchantment on the hammer, and then send the hammer away from Thor, so that Thor had to learn. When he went to go pick up the hammer, he couldn't pick it up. All that happened before Odin went into the Odin sleep. In this What If, he's already in the Odin sleep, so we have to assume that the enchantments are like he's wielding the hammer just because that's his weapon of choice, and that's the weapon that he was given. So that's why he still had the hammer. The enchantment was never put on the hammer, because I'm sure his actions would have deemed him unworthy to wield the hammer if Odin put the enchantment on it.
Well, like, how come Captain Marvel couldn't pick it up?
She's not worthy. She's not worthy. Simple question.
So wait, maybe I'm confused. Maybe you explain
that was
something.
easy.
So the enchantment for only Thor to pick it up, that wasn't something that Odin put on, or was that something Odin put on specifically? Or is it just the hammer itself is just a thing where only worthy people could pick it up?
So the way the enchantment goes is like, whoever wields this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. So gotcha. Thor's power, it's enhanced by the hammer. That's why in Ragnarok, his dad was like, "Are you the god of hammers or are you the god of thunder?" The hammer was just a way for you to direct your power and help channel your power. That's the only purpose of the hammer. So the hammer is still carved out of a dying star, so it still weighs a lot of pounds. Gotcha. And it still has a bit of magic because Thor has to still be able to wield it. So they still have some Asgardian magic on it. So when he put it down on her, she's not worthy, and this thing weighs a ton. She can't pick it up. It's kind of the same thing when he put the hammer on Loki, when he was fighting Loki on the bridge.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, he put it on Loki, and Loki couldn't lift it either. So it's all about that magic and the enchantment on it. So, and then again, who knows? He could have. I don't know. He could have put a different enchantment on it. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That was my first question. The next question was, actually, it's two parts. Like, how did Thor know everybody, and how powerful is Frigga in this universe? Because it seems like everybody know who this lady is, and that's what I loved about this episode, because this is kind of what I was missing with the whole Thor universe. It's like they didn't seem the like Odin and Frigga, they didn't seem powerful outside their 9 realms world. Like everybody else in space, they felt like I didn't feel like they got enough respect, I should say. Got you. And this one kind of showed like, nah, Frigga is that chick. Like, don't mess with her. Like, she could take you out, something like that. So I like how they introduced that aspect of it.
I think they're kind of going with that whole theme, because even with the episode before, when we were dealing with Killmonger and Black Panther's moms, she was in charge of the Jean Melange. That's a huge thing, So it's like she's not a pushover. She's just not a queen that sits on the throne and everything. And we've even seen Frigga get down when she was dealing with them dark elves. Yeah. So we saw that too. So. That's another reason why I wanted Travis here, because Travis, I don't know, he felt a certain way about it. I don't know. I don't want to call him I don't want to call him chauvinist.
Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it was sarcastic text. I want to hear his voice.
I would have loved to have him here and see his perspective on the matter, but it is what it is. So there was a lot of stuff in this episode, obviously. Once Odin went into the Odin sleep, Frigga was like, "Yo, I'm out with my girls. We're gonna go ship some champagne on another planet. You got to study, do your thing." And then he ended up going to Earth, and we saw all these different characters. And it looks like this episode did a great job in kind of getting us ready for what we're going to see in Guardians 3 and what we're going to see in Thor: Love and Thunder, because they're saying that the two universes, the Asgardians and Thor, they're going to mix up. They're going to be mashed up. They're part of the same sector of the universe, so it makes sense for them to do that. So
definitely, yeah. Actually, I like how they did that. They like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, we're gonna see more their worlds collide in the next. Because actually, Thor left with the Guardians, so I'm not too sure how was it. Thor comes first, right? The movie comes first. I'm not too sure.
I don't even know what the order is, but let me double check real quick.
Yeah, I think Thor Love and Thunder comes first, so it might start off with him with the Guardians, so you might see an appearance from them in the beginning of that film. So that'll be cool to see.
Let's see here. Because I want to believe that is the case, that it's going to be.
Yeah, because I think
Thor
Gunn just came back. Yeah, Gunn came back and they pushed Guardians back to a year, I think, or so.
Right, because James Gunn was doing he was doing that what's that movie called? Suicide Squad. So
yeah. Yo, come
he
on,
was.
man. Don't
What?
disrespect it.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Nah,
Just
come on. You know what the movie was. You didn't decide to go, what you call it. You know what it was. That's horrible, man. That's horrible, yo.
I forgot the movie temporarily.
Yeah, right.
Temporarily, I forgot. But anyway,
Great movie.
it
So,
was.
you saying like you didn't really enjoy the episode because it didn't move the needle? What
No, I didn't quite. So the way I'm looking at these what ifs, I'm looking at it to say like, all right, well, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord? That's a concept that I want to see. What if Sharon Carter or Peggy Carter was Captain America? That's a pretty cool concept. What if Thor was a party animal? Okay, I saw that. I saw that in it, what he was doing. Like, so I don't think it really moved the needle for me because that wasn't something I wanted to see. Like, I saw
Gotcha.
that. He was a
I,
part. Like, I
I
saw it
think
already.
that's what the behind the scenes argument was about. Like, if somebody came out with that and saying that's the reason why they didn't like it, I
Mm-hmm.
understand. Like, there was no real change into his character.
Mm-hmm.
I know we had a discussion about him learning something. I'm not too sure if he really learned anything at all, but I like you said that it didn't really change his character at all. He's still the same Thor. The only
Yeah,
thing difference is, like you said in the beginning, like we didn't see a Thor of loss, so he didn't graduate to what the Thor that we know of now.
exactly.
Yeah, but
So,
I still enjoyed it. I think everybody wants to see the Vision quest more than anything
yeah.
out of this episode. Like
Mm-hmm.
once that came at the end, I'm like, that's a what if I want to see. What if Ultron actually took over Vision's body?
Well, let's jump right to that. Let's jump right to that.
Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
the Watcher is talking. He's saying is well, every
That
story
was
has
so
a happy
cheesy.
ending. He
I
was just
loved it,
like,
yo. How come people don't like that, yo? That was so cheesy.
I was watching. I was like, all right, well, he stated the obvious, and then he was like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't see that coming. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're watching. You have one job. You have one job to watch. You can't be thrown off. Because then what am I gonna do?
Nah, he only got two eyes, Corey. He only could watch one thing at a time.
Oh man, that's too much, man. He's a god, yo. He's supposed to be able to watch everything.
He's not a god. He's told Doctor Strange that.
That's true. That's true.
He's not a god.
He's not a
He's
god.
just
Just a
they're an
dude that
old
watches.
civilization of people that have incredible power. Not too sure if it's magic or tech. I'm not too sure which way they're gonna go with this one.
But they just watch.
He can only see one thing. He can't see every universe at the same time. That's what my thinking is. I don't know.
Oh man,
That's
he's making excuses. He making excuses. Either way, man, he was caught off guard.
Yeah.
And then we see the centuries of Ultrons, and then we see Vision as Ultron. So for those who need a little bit of a recap, Avengers: Age of Ultron, we saw Ultron emerge. We see Ultron destroy or try to destroy Jarvis. He becomes Ultron. He gets in his mind what he has to do, which is destroy all mankind so that machine can live. That was his whole thing.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
He wanted to weed out the weak humans, so only the strong survive. There you go.
Only the strong survive. So that's his original comic book origin as well. That he was made to be, the strongest survive. What was it called? Not Murphy's Law. Iron Man, I think it is. Something to that effect. But anyway, it gets to the point where he's about to create Vision. So he's using vibranium to, create this new body for himself. Avengers, they stop it. Thor comes in, gives this some life. Tony Stark and Bruce Banner is putting Jarvis into it. All this type of stuff is going on at the same time. And out of all this madness, Vision emerges. So Vision is what Ultron envisioned himself to be as the perfect vessel, which is true. Yeah. I mean, he would have been the perfect vessel if he was able to go into Vision's body. But that didn't happen in our universe, the Marvel universe that we know. In this alternate universe, it looks like that Ultron was able to put himself into Vision, and then he was able to receive he was able to get all the Infinity Stones. So now we're dealing with a creature that is able to do exactly what he wanted. So I have a question for you, I'm Legend.
Yeah.
How do you think this Vision got the stones?
That's what I was gonna ask you. Crazy.
I mean, I'll answer afterwards.
So pretty much, I think we gotta even go further back of how was Vision created in this universe. Because what I think this episode of Thor didn't actually take place where Thor 1 began, like back in I guess 2009, maybe something like that. I think this actually took place maybe around the Age of Ultron era. That's my first thing. And I think it was one of those things where Tony created the Ultron program once again. Maybe he doesn't have. There was no alien invasion, right? Because Loki never came down. So it could just be Tony's own thinking, like, hey, I just want to make sure I can save as much people around the world. I don't want to do it myself, so I'm going to create this AI to do it. And the AI went crazy and eventually obtained Vision. And Vision already got the Mind Stone, so once he enters Vision, I believe that he now knows of the of the stones, and that's when he started the collection of the stones. So that's my whole thinking of it. Like, I think in this world he don't even have a recollection of who Thanos is, or if Thanos is coming of that matter. It's like I say, I don't think, because Tony even had that whole alien invasion thing happen to him. So yeah.
So I've seen a couple speculations online, and I'm kind of figuring it out myself. So
yeah, it's hard to put together.
It's hard to put together. So they're gonna have to need to explain a little bit of it. So the Mind Stone makes sense, right? The Mind Stone makes sense because that was original with Vision, so that makes sense. The Tesseract, that's on Asgard, so he would have to have gone to Asgard to get that. Also, the Time Stone, that's with the Sorcerer Supreme. That's with the Ancient One. Bomir, the Soul Stone, that's over there. The Power Stone is at Xandar. So there are different areas that this Vision would have had to have gone to in order to obtain the stones. So a very interesting theory that I heard, but it kind of doesn't make sense. But I like the theory is that once Thanos got all of the stones and he was going for the last stone, which was the Mind Stone, he met that Vision. Or he met that Ultron, and that Ultron defeated him and took the stones. So that's something that would make a lot of sense to me. That maybe Thanos did all of this while Thor was partying, and while the Earth's strongest defender at the time, which is Captain Marvel, was busy with him, Thanos was doing his thing elsewhere. So
I can go with that. One more, because I've seen another one online. You see the portal that he came out of, it wasn't the bluish Tesseract color, right? Like a space stone. It was more of the gold color like the TVA uses and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe it could be from a different universe, and he just came in like a King the Conqueror type of thing. Like, hey, what's this universe? I'm gonna conquer this one. I could see that happening too.
I can see that happening too. That actually makes sense as well. I mean, they showed us a whole bunch of stones in a drawer that was essentially powerless.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if it goes to another universe, it shouldn't be it should be useless, kind of.
It's only useless in the TVA because they're not part of any type of universe. They're like literally, So the stones could definitely be used in different universes and stuff like that, and still have the same power. Or maybe the colors, because in the comics, the colors of the stones are not the same power colors that they use in the movies. So that could be totally different too.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
All that could be different. I'll be real. I feel as though after showing this, you cannot tell me. I don't want to know a different story. I don't want to know about any other characters, any other what if characters. I want to know more about this story right here that we're looking at.
And it's crazy. I don't want to spoil it for you. Never mind. I won't spoil it.
Not spoil it. Okay, wait, hold on to that spoil because I'm gonna bring in Deceptively Awesome right now.
Oh,
there you go.
Man.
What up?
Hey,
What up? Just in
nothing
time,
going
man.
on here. We just talking about speculations. No trouble.
There's not the weekend for it, right?
Yeah, I don't want no trouble.
Peaceful weekend, waving the white flag.
Peaceful weekend. Peaceful weekend. We ain't want no problems. We ain't want no problems.
Yeah.
But I Am Legend was about to spoil something for us. So what
It's
was
not
it you
really
about
a
to spoil?
spoiler alert, but I was watching regular TV. You know, just off chance I see a commercial. It's a Hyundai commercial, and who do I see is Ultravision. I'm like, we just seen that in What If, and who's he fighting? He's fighting Captain Carter, the Thor, the Doctor Strange, and Killmonger, and I'm looking like
Wait,
it's
hold
a Hyundai commercial.
on.
And then it just
Wow.
shuts off and saying, "Hey," and then, "Hey, what if Disney Plus?" I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
That, hold on. I'm gonna
You
look for that, man. He's probably dreaming. He's probably dreaming.
Hey, it's all real, man. It's all real.
Marvel.
I
Marvel is
was
going all
surprised.
in.
Yeah, look it up. Thor
Looking it up right
Hyundai.
now.
Look
So
on YouTube.
I'm looking it up right now. So
Yeah.
Travis,
Yeah.
so we want to know. You know, we've been talking about this week's episode of What If, Party Thor. You know, that whole thing. So what was your take on that that episode?
My take on that episode is that to me, this is probably the bottom of the barrel for What If, in my opinion. Only because I don't know, like I couldn't. All right, what ifs are supposed to be alternate versions of these characters, you know? I don't know how one-to-one they are with the regular MCU, but they're supposed to be these characters. I can't see Nebula playing poker or anything with any one of these characters from this universe, you know what I mean? And it's like it was great seeing all the cameos and stuff like that. I just couldn't imagine a universe where all these people will come together for a party. It just seems really out of place for me. You know what I'm saying? If it's supposed to be now, this is like I don't know, an Elseworld story, or is not really tied to anything, or is not. But anything that we see in What If is canon to What If. You know, so I don't know, and I think it has made Thor too much of an idiot. I just think they made him way too much of an idiot. And I know they're trying to answer a lot of questions like, what if Captain Marvel or who was stronger, Captain Marvel or Thor? You know, and I don't know. And I feel like this episode was for the fans, yes, but it wasn't for What Ifs. It didn't have any purpose in What If, in my opinion, honestly. Because for the fans, it's like, okay, we all know how you guys feel about Brie Larson, so let's make some self-aware references to what you guys been saying about Brie Larson's character, Captain Marvel. So you see that a lot sprinkled in the episode, which it was great in a sense that they're addressing it, but it was just like, okay, but is this really for What If or just for the fans, you know? And I'm okay with them having their own episode, like for that purpose, but then for the whole What If thing, I don't know. I don't think it fit. It was out of place, and I think like certain things they were too afraid. What If was just trying to, because of the last couple of episodes, how dark they were. I think What If just did something completely left field that was completely, to me, a little bit bogus in certain areas. I think, like, for example, when I love seeing Loki as as Frost Giant. I love seeing that.
That was dope.
But yeah, it was dope, but it had no like real point to it other than to say I'm a brother from another mother, which he already was, which to me was just like, why even? Loki's a brother from another mother, so it's
I
like
won't argue with you too much on that one, but it was fun to see that they are closer, more as they
but I
know
didn't.
them true selves rather than them trying to be actual brothers. I thought that was cool. Like
I get that, but my thing is we kind of see that in the MCU because in all Thor movies, they didn't truly hate each other. I mean, Loki was just being himself and Thor was being himself, and they would clash, but that was it. In the first Thor movie, his father called him a vain child and a boy. So that already tells me he was in that party thing, kind of not responsible. That's the whole reason why he was banished, because he wasn't responsible. So then why do a What If episode of that very same thing where it's like that didn't make any sense to me at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Before you got on, that's what me and Corey was saying. We didn't think this would have changed too much of his character or anything. The only thing I said when it changed was how it brought that whole Asgardian 9 realms closer to like the whole cosmic space universe. How, like I said, everybody know who Frigga was. Everybody know, like, yo, you don't mess with her because, you know, whatever. And how Frigga knows who everybody is and how they all interact with each other. That's what I enjoyed seeing, because when we watched Thor 1 and Thor 2, it's kind of like if there was out that 9 realms, nobody knew who Thor was, nobody knew who Frigga was, nobody knew who Odin was, and not for anything, Odin's probably like the strongest person in the universe, or one of the strongest person in the universe. For people in the cosmic side not to know who he was, it's mind-boggling to me on that one. So that's why I like. That's one of the things I liked about the episode.
One of the things. One of the things I liked about the episode, though, I think my favorite thing, honestly, is the animation. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, if Marvel does not make a video game like this kind of animation, like that's gonna be a big misstep. Like this animation, that fight, I'm not gonna lie, that fight was dope. Like that animation, everything was just like spot on, man. That's like the one side I'm liking. And this episode really kind of showed that better than any other episode, I think. You know, that's like because the pacing was really fast with the fighting and just like really fanciful and stuff like that, and the colors was bright, and it just reminded me of like one of those Dragon Ball Z games. It was just like, man, Marvel need to make a game like this. Like this would be an awesome game.
Did you see it?
Other than that, it wasn't a bad episode. I just didn't care. For it.
You said you hated it. You
I
gotta stick on your principles. You hate it. Don't try to go on our side.
No. Hold on. Pause. Don't do that. Because to me, Marvel can do no wrong, it seems like. But for me, it's like Marvel has a few missteps, but none of the missteps from another company like DC and Warner Brothers, Marvel's missteps do not compare. It's like they just missed the 3-point shot, even though they're up, 100 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
episode 1, I said, like, I told Corey, like, I don't even want to watch no more episodes after episode 1. That's how bad I thought it was. And then Corey's like, nah, you gotta keep watching it. And I was like, whatever. And then episode 2 changed my whole mind, like, oh, they could do this, and it changed my whole perspective. So I understand, like when Marvel misses, like, I'm out with it, like, but I think you're right in some way. Like, I'll kind of give it another chance just because it is Marvel's. Like,
exactly.
Maybe I will give you another shot.
Exactly. So even this episode, I hated it. I think it's the worst one of them so far, but it's still a C-. Like that's still a passing grade. So
you said it was an F. Don't try to
not say it was F. You couldn't have pulled that argument. I did not say it was F.
Y'all got receipts, man. You said it was the worst thing you ever seen.
Your receipts are lying to you. Your receipts are lying to you. You went to a bootleg store, man.
So real quick though, I don't want to take us off too far, but I did want to check out this part here, and if the end of that episode means anything, it looks like that's the story that we're going to be getting. So let's check this out real quick.
This is the commercial?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dope.
What? Well, I didn't see that part.
If this happens in the show, I'll be rolling.
All right. So that was the commercial right there. So I believe you. I
wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I wiped my eyes a couple times. Like, this can't be real.
So that commercial. I mean, hold on. Let me just real quick. Let me bring it back up real quick.
They had the Watcher actually fighting in that too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he's gonna step in. All
right.
That part at the end of the episode when he was like, "Wait, what?" I thought that was so funny. I thought that was so hilarious.
So we see here, the centuries of different Ultrons, and they have the red. So I remember somebody was saying, I think it was in New Rockstars, they were saying something to the fact of, in the movies, all of them were blue, which showed, they were remotely controlled. And then when Ultron controlled them, they were red. So this one is reversed. They're all red, right?
It's not so much reverse, is that he has the Infinity Stone. So he could probably spread his soul, his consciousness through all of them.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
And here we got Captain
Captain Carter.
Captain Carter, yeah. So she's doing her thing. So we have Doctor Strange and we have T'Challa. So we have them back to back. They fighting. So we have an idea of who the team that's being put together by the Watcher.
And it's crazy, in Infinity War they fought together, Star-Lord and Doctor Strange.
That's true.
It's crazy.
Very true. Now this part right here, obviously this is not.
I mean, don't say, hey, look, what if? What if? You don't know.
You're right. You're right.
You don't know. There could be just a clip they took out.
I don't know. I don't think they do.
Awesome, man.
What is he doing? Wait, who's that in the way? Oh, that's Thor.
Captain Marvel. That's Thor or Captain? Oh, that's Thor. Yeah.
Got the hammer.
But I ain't going front though. Thor coming in with the wheelie and also spinning the hammer at the same time. That's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. So but to Travis's point, and we spoke about this earlier. This episode for me didn't move the needle. I mean, we saw a Thor that we essentially saw in Thor 1. Just an expansion of the story. If he didn't have a Loki in his life that was mischievous and caused all this different stuff to happen, before he became king. That's basically what we saw.
It seemed like Loki's the one that's getting the people next to Thor killed off in his life. Like,
pretty much.
That's what it seems like.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, because he did told the Dark Elves which way to go to kill Frigga.
Yep.
He did take away Odin to have him killed.
Yep.
And makes
Loki.
sense.
Loki. So see, there's something wrong with him. But like I said, that episode was it is what it is. The real important part of the episode was the last moments of the episode, which we saw Vision as Ultron, or Ultron as Vision, or Ultron in Vision's body. Yes. So
especially
if
they connect in the future episodes, definitely.
Yeah. So it looks like that's going to be the big bad of these miniseries, because again the Watcher was caught off guard. So that was pretty cool that the Watcher was caught off guard.
Yeah, and I think because when they show that part of the Watcher being caught off guard, it was just like, oh, I guess that would catch anyone off guard, because in every episode we've seen so far, Tony Stark died in some way, or he wasn't Tony Stark in some way, So how did Ultron even come to be? If there's no Tony Stark who's creating this Ultron.
Well, remember, I mean, there was a point in time, if we were to go back and look at the Killmonger, what if Tony Stark was available, Tony Stark was there, and Tony Stark was working with Killmonger. Who to say that this was another project that Tony Stark was working on, and then Ultron just came to life, because essentially
Thor gave Ultron life.
Well, yeah, but also remember, no, Thor gave Vision life.
Vision, sorry. Vision was in the Ultron. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but when the way they came up with Ultron, Tony Stark was trying to figure out a way to get Ultron, the system of Ultron, to work, and he walked away, and then it just pretty much clicked after his computer just put it up. So, you could easily think like, all right, well, maybe Tony Stark was working on something in the background, and then when Killmonger killed him, that system was still moving in the background until it just turned on. Or it could just be from a different universe. Who knows? So that was another thing that I Am Legend was bringing up, that this could be a Ultron from a different universe who got the stones and then is doing the Kang, traveling to different multiverses, killing off.
And you see with the commercial, like when that portal opens up, it was like the bluish portal, wherever Thor came out of. Yeah. And I like that gold portal where Ultron was coming out of. It just looked different, so much different from how when Thanos was using it. I was like, that can't be the space stone. That has to be something else, unless just in that universe maybe they change colors of the stone, like you said before. Yeah. So that could be it also.
That's true.
So far we're in episode 7 of What If. There's 5 more episodes left. There's 12 episodes in total. Episode 8 is coming up this Tuesday. Not to put, because we really can't put it which one was the best all the way to the worst, because we haven't seen all of them. But at this present moment, from 1 to 7, which what if was the best what if in
Oh,
your
that's
opinion?
easy. That's easy. The Doctor Strange one by
Doctor
top.
Strange.
That was the most. Yeah, that was the best. It was
Nah,
simple.
not-
Kept it to 5 characters. All the voice actors, whatever, returned. Great animation, great story, and it had that like that ending that breaks your heart. So yeah, I'll definitely go with that one.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to go with T'Challa. That the second one is still my favorite one. I think. I think because all the what ifs are just kind of like I feel like they're missing certain elements. Even the Doctor Strange one, I didn't get from the. Cause I'm taking it from my knowledge of them from the what we saw in the MCU, and then Doctor Strange one in the MCU canon. Him and the nurse, I forgot her name. Their relationship wasn't like that was his heart, really. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like a fling and yada yada yada. So for to see in the what if episode that being his heart now was kind of like okay, I guess it is a different universe. I get that, but I didn't see that established in the first one to make me really draw to it. What I did see though in the first MCU was Star Lord when he was a boy being captured. I saw T'Challa and how he became Black Panther and all that stuff. So
Oh, you stop.
Are you froze?
other approaches him at the end. You know what I mean? That made me say, okay, I want more of that story. So I think the second one, to me, and just to see them take bits and pieces from the Guardians of the Galaxy, just put T'Challa into them was nice to see a different take on it and how he would spin things. So I felt like the second episode of What If was truly like What If,
Yeah,
where the other ones felt like it was from a different universe. This one felt like the MCU canon almost.
gotcha. Yeah, number 2 is probably my third best. It's one of my favorites, so I
Yeah.
can't bash that one. Let me bash Corey's though. I know he's gonna say
I,
something crazy. Go ahead. What you
I
got?
was gonna say I wish I went before Travis because number 2 was my favorite. I think number 2 was the best. Like
You sure you don't like 3?
no, 3, no 3. You know what? You know what it is? Listen, if I'm looking at it from a what if perspective, what if T'Challa was Star Lord? I feel like it had a complete story, like within that small time frame, from the time he was a kid to him being up there to the fact that Thanos is no longer a Mad Titan because he had a conversation with T'Challa and he actually sees a different path. That's essentially the character of Thanos in this universe. His whole thing was, trying to balance everything. But if he saw a different way of balancing things and still accomplishing his goal, his mission, then he's good. We don't really have any more backstory of Thanos as to why he decided to go the route he went. But I just thought it was a complete story from beginning to end. Honestly, when it comes to Doctor Strange's story, now that is a close second. That's like right neck and neck because again, for him to lose the person closest to him and for him to go this route, it's a definite what if because it's like, okay, well, he has his hands. What if he was at his pinnacle of physical expertise and he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme? What kind of guy would he become? So that makes sense to me.
My only thing though, and I get that, but my only thing with that too is that I don't think if he had his hands, he'll be the Sorcerer Supreme. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like saying the Daredevil having his eyes would be a better Daredevil. I think them not having it makes them the best version of themselves.
Okay.
So for me,
That
to
was
see
the what if he lost his heart instead of his hands.
yeah, he lost his heart. So I think it was more so not so much his expertise though. It was more so of his motivation and stuff like that. Not so much him trying to get over a disability because him learning in the first one, him learning how to become that Sorcerer Supreme he had to like let go of a lot of his ego and stuff like that kind of held him back, but that was because of him losing his hands. So in this universe, me seeing him not lose his hand and kind of lose his heart, I don't buy that he will become the best of his craft. You know what I'm saying? I think him not having the hands made him the best of his craft because he had to go above and beyond versus just kind of sticking to what he knows. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is about Doctor Strange, as explained in both universes, even with the movie, it's not even just about that part. It's about that he has that thing that he got to fix something. Like he has to make sure it's fixed. And I think that's was his big motivation with this one. In the if he lost his heart, he has a time stone that could reverse time and things that manner. So in his head, like I could fix this. Like I could change that moment, whatever. And I think that's going to play a part in the whole No Way Home that's coming up.
Probably.
I think this whole thing where I can fix it.
Yeah, probably. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't think he'll be as good as he is in the MCU canon because he doesn't have the things that matter the most to him, really.
Gotcha.
But no, I think that episode, to me, that episode might be my fourth. But I gotta go back and maybe rewatch them and see, put them in a proper order. And maybe my fourth or my third favorite, but I gotta see, or maybe not. I don't know. But I remember it was a good episode to me. But
the episode 2 was probably my third after the zombies because I like episode 2, like you said. That was like a true what if because it doesn't just show you what if one character changes, kind of show you how multiple characters. You got to see Thanos change.
Yeah.
You got to see Gamora change. You got to see how the whole city of Wakanda changed. Like it gave you a whole perspective on just one person changing, how everything around it also changes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that the Doctor Strange episode didn't really do because it didn't show you everybody's change. It only did pretty much that one person. So,
and to your point too,
number 2.
Exactly, and to your point too, everything that stopped Peter Quill from joining his father was both Gamora and his mother. But now in this alternate ending, it looks like maybe his mother might still be alive, and maybe his dad has a fresh, untampered with Star-Lord or Peter Quill. So it's like I want to see that story because then they're gonna rule the whole universe at that point. And I feel like that's just kind of they're going a different route, it looks like, but it's like I really want to see that one end,
And I think that's what they were speculating that Ego is still looking for his people to,
So Ego never really changed, but now he has a fresh Peter Quill to help him complete his mission. It just seems like that's a more interesting story than that we've seen so far.
He has a Peter Quill he can corrupt. That's already like a sponge in a sense.
Yeah,
he doesn't have no more. He has no moral. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, look where he works. So he works at like a Dairy Queen, mopping the floor. So you can tell his life is at the bottom of the barrel. Honestly, at his age, so it's only oh, I'm a god. I can do this. I'm out.
So,
but not to get a little bit deeper into the what if. This next episode. So we don't really know what's this next episode, but you can kind of get an idea that we spent some time with the Avengers and how the Avengers came together, and then Hank Pym pretty much came and killed them off. So we saw the zombies, how the Avengers kind of came together when it came to the zombies and stuff like that. So it looks like that's where they're going. They're going to put this ragtag group of heroes together to fight off this invasion of Ultrons.
That's next episode? That's next episode? You're just speculating that.
I think the next episode is them coming together from all the different times. And we still don't know if this is the same universe. Meaning they're all in the same universe doing their thing. Or these are different universes. And the Watcher is pulling these people from different universes.
Yeah, I think it's different universes. I think it's different universes only because like look how many times we've seen Tony die. You know what I mean? It can't be the same Tony in all of them. So I think there are different universes. I would have liked to see them do that, where it's kind of like this is just a different Elseworld story, so they're not really using the same characters. They're just kind of going through it. But I think that'd be too difficult to do because certain things they need Tony to set up, like the Killmonger one, and certain things they don't need Tony to set up, like the zombie one. So I think it'd be too hard for them to do it like that. But I mean.
It's probably safe to assume that they're all from different universes because, again, you had two different T'Challas as Black Panther and as Star-Lord. So, that wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Man, I was really hoping that Rob was here because, really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of the conversation that you and him had on our
why you love Captain Marvel so much.
You know what? It is crazy because Rob is not necessarily the type to be in defense of Marvel like wholeheartedly. Like that's more me. He's not the type. He's not the type that does that. So it's just you guys had two different perspectives on this one episode, and I saw both of your perspectives. I understood both of your perspectives, but again, a lot of things from Thor that they addressed in the Thor movie is what I was applying to this movie and or this What If. So when it came to certain characters, even them, bringing in Captain Marvel to kind of combat with Thor, that's a fight that we would want to see. That's a fight I would like to see. They didn't hint to it as them fighting, but they did hint that Thor saw her as his equal in a sense. Like, I like this one. He sees her as an equal in power level. So, that would be real cool to see them fighting, and I'm glad that they showed parts of that fight. But again, it's this is where it looks like Marvel is taking their property because of their prior ownership. So a little background, the prior owner of like the Marvel movies and stuff like that. So Kevin Feige's boss, he shot down a lot of ideas that Kevin Feige wanted to explore when it came to Black Widow having her own movie, when it came to Captain Marvel having her own movie. He cut down a lot of those things because he thought that women weren't able to be box office draws and stuff like that. So women were relegated to certain types of roles in the movies. And then when he got ousted and Kevin Feige came in as the the overall leader and everything like that, that was kind of his mission and his vision to kind of give women a bit of a platform to stand up on, to say, hey, we're just as good as men, in this universe, in the comic book universe and such and such. So, I think that's kind of where they're going. Because if you look at all the what ifs, they kind of showed women in leadership roles and prominent roles, than just, kind of damsels in distress or stuff like that. But, I just think that that's the direction that they're going, and that's something that they want to showcase because women like these movies too. So, that's just my 2 cents on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, real quick question. When you guys watch these episodes, do you guys watch the opening credits to see who's in these episodes? Like the names and stuff?
Like the names, yeah. I do that.
You do? Oh,
I do that.
You guys are
I do
that. That's all I want to tell you. I just
like
the
surprise.
Yeah, I like the surprise.
It's hard not to watch them.
I just look at the question and that's it. I don't even look at the whole synopsis of whatever. I just
you be just sitting there like, no, I'm not watching, not looking.
Skip intro right there. Skip intro. It just comes up right away. Skip intro.
Skip intro. Just hit that and just boom. You in it. No, I like doing that because I like the surprise too. But then again, it's still a surprise to me because I don't know how they're going to use them. That's in the movie in the show. Yeah. So
I just feel like it's setting the stage. So I just.
Yeah. That's how I kind of look at it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me never to watch it with you guys. Okay, cool.
I mean, it is what it is. So let's kind of get out of the what if a little bit, and let's kind of briefly talk about what's coming up for Marvel. So next month, Venom and Carnage is coming up. Now, I saw a commercial. I was trying to look for it, but it's hard to find it. There's a commercial where Woody Harrelson's character as a cat, as Carnage. He's in, like, they're saying all this type of stuff, and they say something to the effect of nobody's safe, and you see a spider crawling on his table, and then he smushes it, and then he looks in the camera and laughs. Just real subtle. And there's a lot of reports going out that that Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is going to at some point cross paths with this version of Eddie Brock. So I want to know from you guys, what do you think of the possibility that this new Carnage, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, is actually going to at some point cross with either No Way Home or Multiverse of Madness?
You want to go first, Chad?
Man, look, I hope so, because I'm tired of seeing Venom without the symbol on his chest, man. So I'm hoping that Spider-Man needs to make an appearance, because, I mean, they have a good-looking Venom, in my opinion, but to me, he's nothing without those those things that connect him to Spider-Man, you know. So of course I do think this is gonna happen. I think if it doesn't, it's gonna be a huge misstep on Sony and maybe Marvel's part. But I definitely see that I mean that was definitely a nod that he's coming. Even if they have their own Spider-Man, like a fourth one that enters into the mix, or you know what I mean, like whichever. I do think that at some point Venom needs to have it out with Spider-Man. The only thing is, I don't know if Venom is going to be a villain to Spider-Man or a friend, like an anti-hero. It seems like they already went to anti-hero Venom route versus his first, villainous ways and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, he has to meet him at least at some point. Maybe he bonds with him instead of Eddie Brock for a second, and that's what makes Eddie Brock hate Spider-Man or something. I don't know, because we got to have that black suit, right? So how are we going to become the black suit Spider-Man and stuff like that? So, so I'm hoping that they meet.
Yeah, it's weird because the Tom Holland Spider-Man is not like the photography guy. He's not taking pictures and stuff like that. So they probably won't be in the same profession. Once again, like I'm not really keen on the whole Venom CGI at all. Like I hate it. I hate looking at it. I hate when they change. I hate all the fight scenes. I don't know what's going on in these fight scenes. I just see a bunch of
blur.
Like I don't get it. I don't know. I got no answers for you. If they do it, it'll be helpful for Sony because that will bring the whole Venom market up. But if they don't do it, then that'll probably be good on my part because we probably won't see a Venom 3. So
here's my thing. We have a Venom 2. And that's
somehow people liked it. I don't know.
Exactly. So we have a Venom 2. So I mean,
wait. You didn't like the first Venom you're saying?
I didn't.
Me?
No, the Mano, yeah.
I thought it was solid, but it was like I said, like I didn't know who was fighting who. I didn't like the whole concept of it. I didn't like Venom without a Spider-Man. It just like I didn't go back to watch it. I'll put it like that. I seen it one time. I didn't go back to watch it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
I would say it's pretty much the same thing. I thought it was okay for a Venom movie. I mean, the fight scenes was it was bad to watch. It was hard to watch. So but this I like the concept of Eddie Brock and of course Carnage coming into the mix. Like I said before, I was watching some of the old Spider-Man cartoons, and I love that dynamic. How they came to be. But again, without Spider-Man, a lot of the stories elements you cannot tell. So the whole thing with Eddie Brock hating Peter Parker for getting those good shots and stuff like that. Spider-Man 3 really did that story justice. Did that background with them like hating each other or Eddie Brock hating him and then he becoming Venom. We can't have that. So you have to try to tell a story of how a grown man doesn't like this kid. That's going to be rough to be put together. But honestly, I think that this crossover is going to happen. And I think it's going to happen during No Way Home.
No Way Home, yeah.
Because I think the whole fact that they're doing all of these old characters from before going to get mashed into this movie. And I feel as though at some point, whether it's going to be at the end, could be an end credit scene where, it could just be like maybe a portal opens up or something opens up and Tom Holland looks over and then you see the black ink just grab him and pull him in. Maybe something to that effect. That way it opens the door for like, all right, crap. Now he's in this universe. Who knows? Who knows where they can go with it? But I feel as though that's where they're going with with this entire setup, because it seems as though Marvel is getting everything back. They were recently in the news for a lawsuit that they're suing to keep the rights to the characters. So it's very clear of what's happening. And I feel like this movie, I'm going to watch this movie solely to see how they connect it, if they connect it. But I'm also going to see Venom Carnage, because I do like Carnage as a character. He's not complicated. He's crazy. And then he has a symbiote that's crazier. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't need
true.
much. I don't need much.
Yeah, and same, and I'm not really expecting anything really from. Even when I saw the first Venom movie, I mean, I didn't like. Again, like it was just like, I guess to use your phrase, Corey, they moved the needle for me. They made me. I like Venom, period. So I just wanted to see Venom. I didn't like the interpretation, but I do like how he looks outside of just how he looks form wise. You know what I mean? Like outside of them grabbing stuff, which I hated because it was just black and a mess and not like webbing or anything like that because there's no connection to Spider-Man. Which again, then in that case, they could have made Venom look like anything. They didn't have to make Venom look, you know what I mean? Because Venom got its shape from Spider-Man to begin with, those big eyes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that was just them trying to go around something that was clearly obvious that they were missing.
Yeah.
But
And
it was gonna be fun to see them.
Yeah, one thing I did like about the first movie, I did like the whole Eddie Brock Venom dynamic where he's like Venom is talking to him in his head and like they're just arguing back and forth. And I like how even with the new trailers they showing pretty much the same thing. Like I love that part of it. Like
I kind of like that. I just hate the voice tone and I hate the jokes.
I love both of those.
Let's eat them. Let's go and get them.
Yeah.
I love both of those.
Why do I have to stop?
I thought he was just so corny, man.
Yo, but he was singing. You didn't like what he was singing? Oh, come on, man.
No, his voice is just so corny to me. Everything about it is just so corny, and the jokes just fall flat. But I mean, I do like the fact that they do have that there. At least they're trying, but they need someone who's gonna write better jokes, man, because they're bad.
So, okay. So, last thing I want to touch on before we get up out of here. What if? I'm sorry, not what if. Sorry. Eternals.
Yeah.
So Eternals is the next movie that's coming out for Marvel Cinematic Universe that comes out in November. Nothing going on right now. The last trailer came out. Everybody's focused on what if and I think Spider-Man had another trailer that came out or something to that effect. So is what if I keep saying what if? You know what it is because I'm seeing what if on the screen. Let me get that on the screen. Let me get that. Boom. When it comes to the Eternals, is Eternals getting lost in the sauce? Are we getting lost?
Well, like I said, they released the final trailer probably back in September, like early September. I just thank you for reminding me, Corey, about what if and everything. So Shang-Chi came out and dropped in for 3 straight weeks. He's been doing numbers. So they're not gonna do the Disney Plus theater release with the Eternals. So that's the thing. And now that I think about it, we do got about 4 more. Wait, when does Eternals come out? November. We do got 4 more episodes of What If. I'm thinking that maybe there's gonna be some type of connection to it, like how they how when the No Way Home trailer dropped, it dropped the day before the Doctor Strange What If took place. So they so I'm thinking maybe they're either gonna drop another trailer later, with the What If episode, maybe do something like that again. Not too sure, but it is kind of been lost. Like I haven't been hearing about it. Nobody's been talking about it.
I kind of doubt that they will introduce any elements of Eternals in the What If because we don't know nothing about them. So we can't.
Well, maybe not Eternals, but maybe Celestials because we do know.
Okay, I can see that. I can see Celestial come like, all right, well, we get an idea of what they are. We've seen that vaguely in some of the movies. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna say anything about Eternals and What Ifs. I'm on their boat, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything, but I guess they'll just try not to spoil anything. I mean, which I guess is pretty safe for Marvel. You know what I mean? They're playing it safe, and they're keeping us going. Like you said, we have 4 episodes left. By the time we're done talking about the 4 episodes, then we got Eternals. So it's not like we're gonna miss out on anything. It's not like there's an absence or a gap. It's not like pre-COVID where everything's shutting down. And then, that we didn't have anything for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to really have that again. So, I mean, I think we don't really need to have news on Eternals or need to see anything with Eternals because I think we're kind of distracted with elsewhere.
So last thing before we go, and we didn't even mention this, but we'll talk about this on another time. Hawkeye, we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that.
No, man, that's a touchy subject. Touchy
subject.
I ain't say nothing, Trav. I ain't say nothing. Corey talk. I ain't say nothing.
We'll touch on that another day. But I do want, this is a comic show. This is a comic show, so I'm trying to stay as balanced as I can. So, last bit of news: DC.
Yeah.
Injustice, the animated series, the animated movie is coming out. I gotta admit, I'm excited for it. I think one thing that DC has hands down, they got the best animated movies out easily. Like I watch HBO Max just to watch those series, and they do a great job telling those stories. I don't get a lot of Batman. That's great. I get a little bit more Superman. I get a little bit more of the characters. Still don't got no Green Lantern one, but that's cool. That's all right. We'll wait on that. But Injustice, they're taking that from the comic books and from the video game, where Joker kills Lois Lane and Superman goes berserk. Yeah. You know. So what do you guys think? Did you guys see the trailer for it?
Yes, I've seen the trailer. Like I said, I'm on board with anything DC animation, and I think because of DC animation, they kind of spoil me from their movies. It's like I want the movies to be as good and on par as the animations.
Never.
And something's always missing from that. So
Never.
Hopefully the whole Flash movie will change my mind on that. But yeah, I can't wait for Injustice. One of the best storylines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I think I can't wait for it either. I mean, you guys said it. Like, it's clear the animation. They can't do no wrong in animation. You know what I mean? And it's like more animation leading away from Batman is always good, because it's just Batman. Everything Batman. There's now Batman's in a Flash movie. Now, it's just, before Flash has his own movie, we gotta have Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's just, to me, it's ridiculous. But no, I'm excited for it. I mean, Injustice is a really good game. So it was like, yeah.
This Injustice animated movie is going to bury BVS.
Yeah, come on, man. Why you bring that up?
No, because they literally took elements from that movie, from that video game, and they sprinkled it terribly throughout BVS, as if it was a nightmare scene. That was one of the stuff I really hated about the movie, because like, don't take something that is good on its own and put it in a movie that's not good at all. It was stupid to me. So I hope that this movie I hope they make fun of the movie at some point.
Nah, I don't think people are bringing BVS back up. I think that's kind of lost now. It's forever gone.
Yeah,
I think it's forever gone.
It's so bad. They just I don't know. Because if you think about it, all their movies have no real relevance or no real importance. Nobody's talking about it after the initial viewing of them, and that's it. Like, Shazam was there. That has nothing to do with anything. You got Aquaman and Wonder Woman. We talked about it for that time. Aquaman 1984 was trash. So it's kind of like, it's not like us going back through like, they had the Avengers, they meet again, and we're, even in What Ifs, you have the Avengers, you showing the camera shot angle and stuff like that that we've seen before. It's like we're going back and stuff. They don't got that in DC.
They got Titans. They got Lois, Superman and Lois. They got
none of them have any relevance whatsoever.
It's the same stories over and over again.
So you guys think it's too late to reboot DC at this time? Like,
no, it's never too late to reboot.
It's never too late to reboot. Yeah, it's never too late to reboot. But
never too late to reboot. But they're not rebooting.
But
they don't reboot.
The problem is the taste. It's hard to reboot something when you still have the taste in your mouth, and then you're reminded of the taste. You keep seeing Flash, you keep seeing Wonder Woman, you keep seeing Aquaman. I'm reminded of that taste every time I see them.
I have to disagree with you, because maybe we're just talking semantics here, because a reboot is like a reboot. I'm not talking about rehashing, because what DC is doing now is just rehashing. They're still using the same characters, put them in different stories maybe, but they're just rehashing everything. No, they need you to say, listen, we're going to do no DC anything for a year or two, and have all new actors, all new stories, start over from scratch. Done.
They're doing that right now. They're doing that right now.
No, they're not. No. They're doing that right now. Trash Flash.
They had one movie that came out.
Garbage Flash.
They have one
Suicide
movie
Squad.
that came out this year. They did Suicide Squad. That's
No.
this is their year.
Again,
This is their 2 years of doing
No,
it.
again, no. Harley Quinn's in it. You got Rick Flag that's in it. You still got the same old characters, man. Don't want to hear it. You cannot pretend Joker do not exist in this universe. The Jared Leto one, he exists, guys. Well, I'm not forgetting about him. You know, don't try to. I don't know how many. I don't care how many times you're gonna make Harley Quinn say I hate him and all kind of. I know he exists. I know which one she's talking about. You know, so reboot the universe. Stop for just 2 years. Reboot it. No Ben Affleck. No Jason Momoa. Anyone who could have been salvageable, like Henry Cavill. I'm sorry. Even though they're already butchering the guy. I'm sorry. Let's just get rid of everybody, everything we've ever known about the universe, and start over from scratch.
Yeah, I think most of the cast was on point casting, like with Gal Gadot, Henry
Some of them.
Cavill. Even Ben Affleck was a good Batman.
Yeah.
For the little parts he did have. Aquaman, whatever.
They don't know how to tell. They butchered story like
story.
Seeing that Ben Affleck in Dark Knight Returns as an older, grizzled, petty, upset Batman against a Superman that's like, even if you had like Henry Cavill appear as that Superman, and then you're like, well, why is he mad at this Superman? And then do a movie that with his Superman years ago, him becoming I don't know, whatever, something like that. I feel as though that could have salvaged that entire relationship, but you can't just add elements to a already established property and story into a movie of characters we really don't know nothing about. It's stupid.
That's why nobody cared about BVS. I mean, when you saw Captain America, Iron Man going at it, fighting, it was tugging at your heartstrings. I didn't care. I didn't care just as much as Superman didn't care about fighting Batman. Like he should be the one that really cares, but he didn't care. That one scene, like, do you bleed? He's looking at him like, I'm like, do you want to be here? Like, reboot the whole universe, man.
The script say I gotta fight. I gotta fight you for 7 minutes.
I gotta fight.
I gotta fight you for 7 minutes. That's what the script
says. I gotta die now.
It says it right here. I gotta fight you.
The script says I gotta die now. I didn't even get to live yet. All right, well, I guess I'm now anyway. Like,
let me go ahead and do it.
Even though
Wonder Woman could have did it.
Anyone else could have done it.
Good job for being well-rounded, Corey. Now look at you. You turned into a DC bashing session. It's your fault. It's your fault.
DC makes it easy, yo.
Listen, I'm excited for the Injustice animated movie. I think like, again, their movies animated, the universe that they build is just incredible. Like the storytelling, even the story, they have a story with Superman that he was with Wonder Woman, and then they stopped messing around, and then he was with Lois and Wonder Woman is cool with it. It's like those type of stories is like, oh wow, that's different. I like that. And Batman is not like blah, 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 blah. He's not doing all that crap. He's like a regular dude, like, all right, I'm with a bunch of gods, but I'm still Batman.
Better find his secrets and have something just in case.
Exactly. That would be a good movie to see the backlash on that. Or no, I think they have one where I saw it actually.
With
I think Brainiac.
Not Brainiac. Craven, not Craven.
No.
Nah.
Oh man, what's his name?
Gonna make me
not the what's his name? That Mongol guy.
No. It was it's when
was it
Cyborg?
Not Cyborg.
Wasn't it?
Not Cyborg,
when Batman?
Metallo.
No. Wait. What are you talking? No, I'm talking when Batman found all of their weaknesses, and he had that in the Batcave. But there's a dude that he's lived for centuries, and he got it. He gave it to all of the villains, and the villains used what Batman found out against the Justice League.
Yeah, because it was his plan. I forgot. It was that. I don't know if it was Lex Luthor, but I remember seeing a movie where it's the guy. Yeah, I remember seeing a movie though where the guy, like you said, the guy found out and he gave it to all the villains for his plan because he wanted to do something on the side, and I thought that movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now that as a live action would be dope, but I mean we're not there yet in that universe to give a damn. So so that's what I'm saying. Like they have so much great stories they can tell, but they keep going back to the same garbage. Batman's gonna have another video game coming out soon. Like it's the same thing.
What's it called? Arkham Knights.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think that's the last one, but I think the one I have now
I
is
think it's one
just with the
before.
Bat family.
Yeah.
The one now that's coming out is just with the Bat family. I don't think Batman's in it, but it's with the Bat family. But again, no love for Green Lantern, no love for Superman, no love for Wonder Woman, Hawkeye, not Hawkeye, Hawkman or whatever.
Vandal Savage. Vandal
Okay.
Savage. That's what the villain. He's a guy. He lived since the prehistoric times, and
Yeah, you're right.
became
Yeah.
immortal, and that's when he brought together the League of Doom.
The League of Doom. Yeah.
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 That's what he was doing.
So,
That storyline would have been great.
That animated movie. That was a great movie.
That's
It made so much sense. And at the end of it, Batman said, "Yo, if you don't see what I did as being necessary, then I don't need to be here." And then he starts his own Justice League.
He did not care how they felt, yo.
Yo, I'm telling you, man.
Dude, you're wrong, though. Like, look what happened. You are wrong.
Nah, he was like, "No, this is needed. Like,
needed.
If you guys ever turn evil or go to the dark side or get paid off, we got to find a way to immobilize you guys to take you down." So yeah, this was necessary. If you guys don't see that as it being necessary, I'm out. He just got up and left.
And each one was so cool because each one was so catered to them. Like, Wonder Woman fighting forever. You had like Flash running forever. Like, it was dope.
That was the one animated movie that I saw Batman, and I said, "This is Batman to me. This is Batman. This is something that Batman would do. I'm part of a team, but I have contingencies in case the team goes crazy, even for myself." And that was insane that he even put that together. But anyway, DC the real life DC movies and shows will never do that. So I'll stick to the animated.
They will never take those risks.
Never. A bunch of cowards. Anyway,
literally.
that's where we are. Yeah. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming on tonight, talking some What If, talking some Marvel and some DC stuff. So I Am Legend, where can people find you, bro?
On Graham, I Am Legend.
All right. Travis, where can people find you, bro?
Me, Deceptively Awesome. That's what you see there on the screen. You can find me on Instagram.
All right. And the boy Sam's Brego. You can find me there as well. Brothers Who Break, all that good stuff. Guys, appreciate y'all. Let's do it again very soon. Until then, deuces.
Yeah.